Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined today by Jerry Brienza, the director of the Rogue Valley International Medford Airport. Good to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Very much. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, welcome to the Rogue Valley. So you've been here a little more than a month now.
That's correct.
Busiest time of year, I imagine, at airports.
Perfect time of year.
Thrown into
we
the
love
fire.
it.
I bet you would have to.
Oh, absolutely.
So you came from most recent stop across the country. Colorado, was it?
No, actually, most recently I came from West Virginia, Tri-State.
Okay, that's right.
Huntington Tri-State Airport.
Okay, with stops in Colorado, New York, Florida.
I did. Prior to that, I was in Colorado for 6 years, managing a small airport in Pueblo, Colorado.
Okay, and so what excited you about this opportunity here in Medford?
Well, you know, the opportunity arose, and I wasn't really planning on moving to Oregon. It wasn't on my radar, and I started looking into it. And I knew Bern. I knew Bern from the past, and talked to him a little bit about it, and started researching the area, researching all the growth that's happening in the area, a little bit of a population explosion, a lot of economic development activity going on. Then I zeroed in on the airport. Well, what's the airport all about? I was looking at its numbers, and they've been steadily increasing over the years, which, as an airport manager these days, if you have just steady passenger enplanements, we consider that doing good. But this one was on the rise and continued to be on the rise for, you know, a decade or so. So that really intrigued me, combined with the amount of land, flat land, that was available for economic development, which is also part of my job. That really intrigued me. So the more research I did on the airport, the more research I did on the area, the more it intensified my interest in this position.
Excellent. Well, I do want to ask you, I don't know, imagine being an expert on airports, you have to deal with meteorology quite a bit, and fog is something we deal with a lot this time of year, and as we're finding out, of course, this week. You guys have a machine, I believe it's called Casper.
That's correct.
But it's not always available to use. Have we been using it this week?
Actually, we haven't had the opportunity to use it this year. We had one day where the meteorological conditions were perfect to use it. We took it out, we were about to deploy it, and we realized that the battery and the alternator were dead in it. So by the time we got that repaired, the conditions were not so right for us to use that piece of machine. The conditions have to be below 32 degrees, and there have to be other events that are happening in order for us to deploy that. So far this year, although we've seen a lot of fog, we have not been able to deploy that Casper.
Well, that's unfortunate, but not really in your control, of course.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Jerry Brienza, the director of Rogue Valley International Medford Airport. So one of the aspects of your job is business recruitment. You don't oversee just that terminal. You're responsible for this whole area at the airport. Yeah,
the way I explain it when people ask me what an airport director does is we are the landlord. It's kind of like a good way to simplify that is take the mall, for example. The owners of the mall are not the actual shop owners. They lease out their space to all these little shops, and that's kind of what we do.
And you mentioned earlier about the increased traffic, and that being one of the exciting things for you about this gig. Just finished the parking lot, or almost finished the parking lot out there, expansion.
Right.
Do we have enough space for parking?
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but we don't. We don't have enough space. We learned that over Thanksgiving when we opened up the expanded parking lot and still had to use an overflow lot that is really not prepared for vehicle parking, but at least it gives people a place to park. So I think our next choice is really to only go vertical and possibly think of a parking structure of some sorts, because we're all out of surface room. For vehicles.
We did see the county put one in just down the street here downtown, so maybe they can build one exactly like that.
Exactly.
Also want to ask you, we saw recently in the last couple of months, it wasn't so much the holidays, I think it was before that, a lot of maybe it seemed like crowding, people maybe taking advantage of the fact that they love our airport. It's so easy to get in and out compared to those big ones. It seems like the morning, there's like 4 or so flights early in the morning that people just can't get. Some people missed, I guess. Is that a problem? Do we just have a lot of them going out at the same time?
Yeah, and that's fairly typical for airports our size. It's the early morning flights. Nobody wants to get there 2 hours early, and we do have a group of aircraft taken off to meet their banks at the larger airports. So they're all taken off at the same time. So the early morning flights are typically the problem areas, you know, anywhere between 6 and 8 a.m. Nobody, like I said, wants to be there 2 hours early. And we're accustomed to our airport, of having that convenience,
We're
be
spoiled.
there.
I say we're spoiled. I'll say, you may not want to.
Glad you said it. But yeah, I mean, it's great that we have that flex time where we can be there an hour early, but it doesn't always work in your favor. Sometimes there's congestions at the security checkpoints that the only way you can get through them on time and make your flight on time is if you're there 2 hours early. I'm the airport director, and I'm still there at least an hour and a half to 2 hours early for the flights, and then I go through security and enjoy a coffee or a sandwich on the other side for breakfast.
All right. Well, it was great to meet you. Thank you so much for
Great to
being
meet
here.
you,
Welcome to
Craig.
the area.
Thank you very much.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.